Well, Jeff, I just take me through, as far as you know, the events of this morning. What happened? How did you get the call? How did you figure out what happened to your son?
Well, it started with a call from his football coach who was not at the track meet and said, I think Austin has been stabbed. And I said, where at? And he said, Kuykendall Stadium. I said, I'm on my way. So I drove up there, went through a load of police officers, and was able to see my son on the gurney with a huge hole and blood all over him, and they were pumping him. He wasn't breathing, and his eyes were rolled back in his head. So I had to find his brother. They're twins. And so I found Hunter and tried to get him under control the best we could. And then I loaded him up in my car and we drove to the hospital as quickly as possible. And we waited. And when the doctors came in and said that he didn't make it, it was tough. My son took it extremely hard. Mm-hmm. I'm still in shock, to be honest. I mean, I'm numb. So it really hasn't hit me. And I don't believe any parent should ever have to bury their child. And I pray that, maybe there's changes made as far as security or things like that. And maybe we can learn from this and try to turn a tragedy into something positive to make sure it doesn't happen to anyone else's child. We were so fortunate this past weekend that me, Hunter, and Austin, we grew up hunting together, and we had matter of fact, the ranch we own, the lease was not renewed, so we could never hunt there again. And we went there for the last weekend. And he said, Dad, I've never shot a pig before. I want to get a pig this weekend. I said, okay. Lord and behold, it's a heck of a story, but he shot his first pig this weekend. And we all talked, me, him, and Hunter both. We all talked about these are memories that you take forever. After I'm gone, you can tell your kids about, well, your grandfather and we were hunting and we stalked and it took 2 hours, but we got this. I got my first pig, and he was so excited. And I'm so fortunate to be able to spend that weekend, not knowing it was the last weekend I'll ever spend with him.
And he also was on the track and field team?
Also was, football was his pride and joy.
All right, this is just an absolutely heartbreaking story. A high school athlete fatally stabbed in the chest at a track meet in Texas. It happened on Wednesday morning after telling a fellow student that he was in the wrong place. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf died in his twin brother's arms. His father, Jeff Metcalf, is speaking out about the tragedy, and Jeff joins us now. First of all, Jeff, let me just start by saying that there aren't words to express how shocked and saddened we are by your loss. And as a parent of a 14-year-old boy and an older man who's now making his own way in the world, I just can't imagine how you're facing the rest of your life without your son. I wanted to ask you this question. I know, 17 years old, amazing. And he was an amazing kid, too. We'll get you to speak about him in just a moment. But I think a lot of people at home are saying, wait a second, how does this happen? He goes to a track meet on Wednesday and is murdered. What happened?
I wish I had all the answers.
Murdered. What happened?
I wish I had all the answers.
Murdered. What happened?
I wish I had all the answers. The answer is my son is gone, and he'll never come home again. I want to clarify something right off the start because I've already heard some rumors and some gossip. This was not a race thing, and this is not a political thing. Please do not comment if you do not know what happened. Do not turn this into a racial thing. It was not. Do not politicize this. It's not. This is a human being thing. This person made a bad choice, and it affected both his family and my family forever. It's a very unfortunate thing, but I know exactly what was happening. His brother was there who tried to save him, and he died in his arms.
So
if you weren't there, please don't spread rumors.
His twin brother Hunter was there, and as we pointed out at the top of this, his twin brother tried to save him, couldn't save him, and Austin died in his arms. He spent the last moments of his life in his brother's arms as he went to meet God. But what did Hunter tell you happened?
Well, the track meet was being delayed. Each individual high schools had like their own little tents to go sit under, and they were sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Mm-hmm. The individual was saying some words, and they turned to him and said, "Who are you?" And he said, "I'm Mello." And he said, and he had a Centennial track sweat on. He said, "Hey, man, you're in the wrong spot. You need to go sit with your team." Words were then exchanged. I'm not going to get into the exact details. I know what my son told me, but they asked him to move. And when Austin grabbed his backpack to take it, he stabbed him in the chest and killed him.
Oh my gosh. You know, we're seeing a picture of Austin on the screen right beside you. That's his last high school. Just an incredibly handsome fellow. We know that he was college bound. He had a 4.0 grade point average, MVP of his football team. What else do you want the nation to know about him?
I was mad. My son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
Just tell me about what happened today.
I don't know. I got a phone call from Hunter. He was screaming that Austin had been stabbed. I was at work, and so I drove. I work in Grapevine, so I drove up to the hospital straight away. I actually beat the ambulance there. I saw them have him come out. He was on a lot of machines, and it didn't take long for them to come in to say that he had passed. So, not sure, senseless act of a boy that was in the wrong tent, and my son doing the right thing by telling that boy that he needed to be removed from where he was, and just doesn't make any sense. I mean, that's just because the kid was mad, my son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
Tell me about Austin. What do you want people to know about your boy?
He was the most amazing kid. Oh, so smart. He had college football